Alright, we are on the draw with Rug Delver, and this hand looks pretty bad. We have interaction, we have lands, we just don't have threats, and we're not super likely to find any. This hand is significantly better. Do I want that? Second Mana Leak isn't specifically bad. Sure. Go to us. 2 Mandrills isn't great, but it's probably okay. We're playing against Mill, which means having a second Mana Leak is quite good. I believe we're just going to start with the Misty. We probably end up scouring ourselves just so that the second Mandrills also can come down early. I'm going to wait until they do their milling to decide which blue source to fetch out. Because if I take, say, an island, and then they mill our stomping ground, I will be sad. In that sort of scenario, I would rather have Steam Vent's Forest. Our graveyard's going to get very large. Mesmeric Orb. Wow, they're just going straight for it. Okay. That resolves, and we'll do our stuff. We have 6 things in the bin, so maybe we don't actually want to scour. We're almost certainly going to have enough stuff for the second Mandrills, so maybe we just don't scour. Okay. Steam Vent's Breeding Pool, probably. Mesmeric Orb, sure. It's possible I should have shocked instead of letting them mill me for 1 off of the orb. Serum Visions is going to do a lot of nothing, but our life total is at least somewhat relevant if they get a Jace's Phantasm out. So I don't want to go full-on willy-nilly with it. I do think I'd rather have a second blue source, though. And do I want to hold up mana? Do I want to pretend we have counters? Yeah, I don't think delving some extra is super relevant. Let's just do that. Delirium is still on. Snapcaster is still good. I think I would rather pretend to have a Stubborn Denial up than have 1 extra card in our graveyard. It's not really that far-fetched that they mill us for a decent bit and then we can Mandrills with Leak Up anyways. Although I might end up scouring them just so I can draw some extra cards, hope to hit a land. We can't counter Mind Funeral, which is very unfortunate. Until 4 lands are revealed. Oh boy. That's going to make it somewhat difficult to find lands. At least they only milled 1 actual card. No, we don't care. And I do believe I'm going to mill them to get a bit of a card velocity going. We might lose this to Mind Funeral plus Hedron Crab. Mind Funeral can mill us for a lot of cards. Thought Scour them. If we hit a land, we have Mandrills plus Leak. Goyf, some mill triggers, Snapcaster, and Forest. That's unfortunate. That's even more unfortunate. We're going to attack with Mandrills. And do I want to draw a card and play another Mandrills? Or would I rather play Goyf? Or do we hold up Mana Leak? I don't think we want to hold up Mana Leak. I actually think it's going to be draw and play Mandrills. Because if we play Goyf, they chump Goyf, they take 4, they go to 11, and the next turn they take 10, they go to 1. If we play Mandrills, they take 8, and then probably 8, although they could still chump eventually. So I guess it's not super relevant, but we get to draw a card with the Mandrills line. And that might get us a land. I think I actually want to put... Well, no, they'll just get milled if we put them on top due to Mesmeric Orb. So let's just bottom them. Let's see, what do we want to exile? Land, Serum Visions, Disrupting Shoal, Thought Scour. There's a pretty good chance we just lose this game due to not having... Well, actually, it's not that we didn't have a very fast start, because turn 2 Mandrills isn't bad against a deck that doesn't interact with you. It's just that, one, that Mind Funeral milled us for quite a bit. And 2, we don't have counters up until turn 4, which really is not great. This Hedron Crab is also doing tons of work. Visions of Beyond, sure. They'll gas back up. Probably another Mind Funeral. Lightning Bolt could be good because it means that chumping doesn't save them in 2 turns. Glimpse the Unthinkable. We're going to mill 10. Sure. Or is it 8? I think it's 10. It's 10. Nope. We're just going to take a quick gander to see what our outs are. 1 Snapcaster. Did we... Okay, we didn't exile a Snapcaster, so we could theoretically have some snap shenanigans. That's not super bad. Do we have any more lands? 1 fetch. Stomping Ground, Island, Forest, Island. So no more basics, no Stomping Ground. 2 fetches. All the shocks are out, and we've milled a forest, so it's just fetches. We cannot have a 3rd land drop. At least not one that will do something. So we're just going to hold up Mana Leak here. Swing in, go to end step. We're going to mill at least 2 off of the orb. They're going to chump, sure. Lightning Bolt can still do the trick if we get there. Visions of Beyond. At least that doesn't make us draw 3. We can Mana Leak it, but I think I'd rather Mana Leak a Glimpse the Unthinkable. They'll mill 4. Not super relevant, so let's just ignore that. Mesmeric Orb, Archive Trap. The nice thing about not having more lands is they can't Archive Trap us. They draw. Let's go to end step. So they have a land. We cannot Mana Leak that, which means we are actually straight dead. Well, we'll try. We may as well try. They're almost certainly going to pay for it, or just have something better to do. That works. Go to us. And we are most certainly dead. Let's scoop to give them less of a chance to go through our deck. What do we want against Mill? Revelry and Grudge look good because they deal with Orb. Ancient Grudge has the bonus of being usable from the graveyard. Blood Moon seems pretty bad. So does Engineered Explosives. I think I want another land. Vapor Snag is an out to Jace's Phantasm. It's just not a very good one. Snapcaster Mage seems okay. I think I want all the threats I can muster for early pressure. So these 13 cards are staying. Snapcaster Mage might get cut. Curiosity can go. The Serum Visions are really bad after the first turn. We'll cut a number of Lightning Bolts. Spreading Seas. Oh, we actually need cards. Okay. Well, Disrupting Shoal might be good. We didn't bring in a lot of non-blue, so I actually want Disrupting Shoal. Simic Charm's better than Vapor Snag, so let's cut that. Do I actually keep the Serum Visions? I really don't want to. Maybe I keep Curiosity. 3 Serum Visions? I like getting rid of a number of visions. Maybe we keep a Bolt, cut 2 visions. I like some number of Bolt. I like some number of visions. Fix mana. Give us reach. An out to Jace's Phantasm before it gets huge. I think I want Simic Charm. Let's cut the Dismember, have 3 visions. How many blue cards do we have for Disrupting Shoal? 4, 5, 9, 12, 13, 16. 1 mana ones looks fine. 2 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. plus a shoal can pitch to another shoal. That seems fine. We're going to run this. Hopefully we can take out mill. 4 lands isn't actually where we want to be, but we have 2 threats. So we're just going to go for it. I don't know if I want to shock or fetch if I don't have to because of Archive Trap. I think I would rather do that while having at least 1 mana up so I can try to denial an Archive Trap. Plus, I don't want to thin the deck if I don't have to. I'm probably going to fetch for Renegade just so that it can have double the power it would otherwise have. Watery Grave, so they are shocking. It's a fatal push, that's okay. I believe what we're going to do is fetch, shock, get a breeding pool, say, and go for the Renegade while having denial up. That way we can at least counter the first Archive Trap. Go to end step. If they don't have Archive Trap, awesome. They don't, so that's fantastic. Now we have Denial or Shoal available to counter stuff, which I like very much. It's a little weird to see them play Fatal Push, but I guess they don't think they can race us, which in most games I don't believe they can race us. Glimpse the Unthinkable, we're going to Denial that. We don't have a very good clock. I can kill them in 9 turns, as if we'll actually get there. Yeah, we're going to slam that. Draw a card. I like it. I like it a lot. Yes, I would like to draw. It was a mana leak. Fantastic. That's why we like Curiosity when we play the tempo game. It draws us into more answers to just keep disrupting while we clock them. Curiosity thus far was a 1-for-1. It very well may end up being a sweet 2, 3, 4, 5-for-1. That is a Traverse. They haven't actually milled us yet, so we don't have a lot in the graveyard. Let's attack again. We aren't killing them very quickly, but as long as they're not doing anything, I'm pretty fine with it. If all things remain equal on this board, we just win the game. It'll take 7 more turns, but we just win the game. 6 if they crack that. 6-turn clock. Renegade, Renegade, Renegade. This is a good spot for Renegade being better than a Snapcaster Mage, but both Snapcasters are in the deck anyway, so that's pretty moot, I think. We're going to counter this. Mana leak. We probably don't need green mana. Well, I know for sure that we don't need green mana. I don't think we need them to think we need green mana. Do we counter that? Mind Funeral is almost certainly the single best mill card they could have. So let's fetch. Probably a basic island. Although we might want to shock to have red. I don't hate having Bolt Snap Bolt. Mana leak the Mind Funeral again. Don't really care about the Dispel. Does it happen? We are weak to Archive Trap right now, which would kind of suck, but at least then Traverse is on. Looks like they don't have the Archive Trap. Fantastic. Hooting Mandrills. Traverse still is not online because they haven't milled us. Let's draw a card. Curiosity is doing all sorts of work this game. I don't know if it's worth playing Curiosity because it does often make our good matchups better. No, we are not going to Revelry our own Curiosity. Don't even tell me that's castable, Xmage. Do I want to be able to shoal a 2 CMC spell? Probably not. We haven't been milled yet, so I think I just want more pressure. And we probably, well, cancel. I think we just want to tap the forest. Delve 5. We will leave the denial so that we have snap denial. I don't hate having shoal for 1 to hit something like a fatal push. And it's not like our graveyard isn't going to get big if we need traverse. If our graveyard doesn't get big, we just win the game because that's their win con. If our graveyard does get big, we can traverse for whatever we end up needing. So I don't hate delving a bunch. There isn't much downside to delving a bunch. Thought Scour's fine. Yep. Mandrills and a Delver. Come on, turn on Delirium. Fatal Push. That's something I would like to attempt to counter. X equals 1. This spell, blue, blue, doesn't matter. Go to us. They have a mana leak, that's fine. Now we have enchantment in the graveyard. We are one step closer to traverse. And they still haven't milled us for anything more than a Thought Scour. 3-turn clock. 2 turns if they show us anything we can Revelry. It looks like this game is going to go to us. I think this one's a lot more indicative of how the matchup goes. I don't know how big that Mind Funeral was last game, but it must have been pretty large. That's fine. If they mill a Lightning Bolt, there's a Tarfire, they're dead. Sure. They have no cards in hand, and we drew a Bolt anyways. They know about Traverse because they saw it game 1, but I don't feel the need to remind them of its existence. So I think we're just going to Bolt them. That'll do. Let's head over to game 3. We will be on the draw. 1-1 in games. Let's see if we can take this. Is there anything we want? We have 3 Lightning Bolts, so I don't think we want this one. I could see the Vapor Snag coming in, but I'm not really feeling it. Huntmaster is probably just too slow. They're not interactive enough for me to want the extra threat. I don't like any of this. Do I hate any of this? Simic Charm pitches to Shoal at... Well, not at worst. At worst, it rots in our hand, but it's less likely that it rots in our hand than, say, a Blood Moon. They have a lot of basics, so I don't really want Blood Moon. Let's give it a go. This hand doesn't have threats. I don't really like it, but it does have lands. We can Scour, hoping to find some. I think we're going to mulligan. That looks better. I don't want that Bolt. Serum Visions isn't great here, but it's probably better than Thought Scour. If it's a Hedron Crab, we probably just kill it. It's a Hedron Crab. Let's get some Tarfire going. We shall tar and feather it. That Tarfire is probably going to stop at least 6 cards from being milled. Game 1, Hedron Crab milled at least 8. Fetch, landfall, crack, landfall. I think they did that twice. Do I want to fetch? I don't hate fetching. I also would like to use this fetch before they incidentally end up milling all of our fetchables. Although it isn't that likely, but I think it's fine. They Thought Scour us. I probably want a breeding pool to get double blue and yada yada yada, but we're gonna wait. I want green and double blue. So maybe we respond to the next one. It's not really likely that Thought Scour screws us over, and I do want this to be untapped so that we can mana leak, but tapped if they don't end up casting a spell. Because we may as well save the life. I actually think I want to mana leak that. If they have Dispel, what are you going to do? If they have Archive Trap, what are you going to do? We do need a clock pretty soon, though. Right now, we're doing a lot of nothing. They play a Flooded Strand. We haven't seen any Archive Traps yet. Knock on wood, they don't have any. I would very much like to not see an Archive Trap on the other side of the table. Maybe they're going to Surgical Extraction all of our mana leaks? Mesmeric Orb. It's going to mill 2, and then we probably just end up blowing it up. Yup. Can I draw a threat? Please and thank you. It's a bolt. Do I want to blow this up now? We definitely play the land. If we blow up Mesmeric Orb now, we play around something like a Dispel. How good is that? Probably okay. I also can have them get milled by it first, but I think I'd rather just do this. Let's go to end step. I think they would rather be milled than not, so we may as well take out the orb before 3 cards hit the bin for them. Traverse is online thanks to that Tarfire, so Traverse is a threat. It's just not necessarily a good one because we only have 1 green source. But when you naturally draw an island and a mountain, you can't really complain too much about that. That's going to mill for a bunch. Oh lord. They have a land, so we can't counter it. Gonna happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 cards it looks like. So that's pretty good. That is essentially a 3 mana deals slightly more than 5 damage, if you consider what Burn would get at that rate. Visions of Beyond will draw them 3 cards, and we can't use this denial on anything else probably, so we're just going to get it out of our hand. That is a Disrupting Shoal, which kind of makes me not want to Serum Visions, but there aren't a lot of 1 mana spells I want to counter. So, can we get a threat? We have a threat. And a mana leak on top. Let's allow the mana leak to transform Delver if it comes up. Hold up Lightning Bolt and pass turn. They probably mill the mana leak. If they don't, that's fine, because then we have a mana leak and a transformed Delver. Even if they kill the Delver, I don't hate having mana leak. So, yeah. Mana leak. Visions of Beyond. That one we're not going to counter. Which is unfortunate, because that draws them into a bunch of counter mill spells. But I don't think you do nothing so that you can play around Visions of Beyond. 3, 4, 5. That one milled for probably something like 11 cards. We're not going to order them. Get rid of this. They have plenty of life, which is very bad for us. Very, very bad for us. At least we can shoal for 2. That's the important thing. It looks like we're going to lose this game, knock on wood. I'm not actually superstitious, but the percentage points you lose from knocking on wood are probably a lot less than the percentage points you gain. Fatal Push. If Delver dies, we probably just lose. So we'll go for it. I'm hoping they have absolute garbage in their hand. It's a mana leak. Not absolute garbage, but Shoal was useless anyways. So go to end step. Can't deal with that. It looks like we're going to lose. Glimpse the Unthinkable is very powerful. Happens, happens. Do I want to fetch? Is it even profitable? Stomping Ground, Forest, Steam Vents. Steam Vents. Wooded Foothills has nothing it can get. Misty Rainforest can theoretically get an island. Probably not worth it. Do we have threats left, or are we just dead? 1 Delver, 1 Mandrills, Delver, Renegade. That's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures in the bin. There are 5 left. We can still draw one. It's extremely unlikely that we draw a threat before they draw like a mill spell and a half. And our threat has to kill them. And they're just slamming Visions of Beyond after Visions of Beyond. But there is a chance. Now we're pretty much just straight out of the game, I think. Even if they don't have another mill spell, we won't order them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If these weren't already here, we've lost. We need like a Goyf now. Go to end step. It's unfortunate, but it looks like we lost to Mill. So maybe Mill should be running Fatal Push, because I don't think they usually end up Fatal Pushing me. And it seems like killing the wee ones has been pretty good for them this match. I believe they're just going to wait for us to draw stuff. That's an island. We ran out of threats, but at least we had the land. Let's go to them. We're probably going to end up using this lightning bolt just for the hell of it. We may as well go out defiantly. Bolt you. Go to us. We are unfortunately dead. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that match. Can I not click away either of these? I think they're stopping each other. Anyways. Close. Thank you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that match, even though we did lose to a pretty good matchup. I think we did play it right. I'm going to attribute that one to variance, at least until I watch it and see any sort of misplays we made. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the match. Hopefully you come back for the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.